We'll move now to Emily Jones, who's here from Homes England, to talk to us about stewardship.
Great. Thank you very much. So good evening, everyone. I will be providing a brief overview of the work that Homes England have been progressing in relation to stewardship. So for those less familiar with stewardship, I'm referring to the long-term management and maintenance of communal and public assets. So these could include open space, play facilities, public realm, or community buildings, along with many others. So the role of stewardship is really important in ensuring that communal spaces enjoyed by the community are maintained to a high quality and can continue to be enjoyed in the future. So in order to look more closely at this, Homes England have been undertaking an in-depth piece of work in the form of a toolkit, looking into the different stewardship models. So particularly exploring the pros and cons of each option, learning from experience elsewhere, and really understanding the different assets within Northstowe that will need to be maintained into the future. Whilst this work is not fully completed or approved, the general direction of travel that's currently emerging from the options work and is supported by the Northstowe project team follows a trust model. So in this context, a trust would take the form of an overarching body responsible for adopting the assets, forming a simple and transparent approach to stewardship. Trusts can often be charitable in nature, and they are a proven model for stewardship of communal areas and are frequently used in major developments. So some examples that you may have heard of include the Wildlife Trust or the Land Trust, who also operate in this area. So one of the key learning points from the work so far is that there are many benefits to taking a town-wide and holistic approach, mainly to ensure consistency for residents in terms of the quality they're experiencing and how they experience the environment around them. One of the real benefits of a trust is the flexibility in which it's able to respond to the range of strategic assets and amenities that we have at Northstowe, and also leaves room to build other facilities into the model as the town grows over time. If an existing provider, one of which I've mentioned, or others, is used, then there's the benefit of having that proven track record and also bringing that expertise in managing a range of high value contracts and overseeing the diversity of assets. So building on from Ellen's work, as part of any stewardship approach, governance forms a really, really key part and underpins how any model is set up and operate. And although this is separate to the community governance review, there are areas of overlap. And it's always important that any governance approach represents the community's aspirations and functions in a way that the residents would like to see and can engage with. So part of a trust model allows a kind of bespoke governance arrangement to support representation from a range of stakeholders. And these could include the existing community, the district council, the new parish or town council, and future residents as the town grows. So we very much see this work stream as it's a work in progress, and we're hoping to build on previous rounds of community consultation, working with the community as the proposals for stewardship continue to emerge. And this will, of course, include engaging with future residents as the community grows. And we will be monitoring very closely the outcome of the community governance review and continuing to progress some of the more detailed work that underpins these different options. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover in terms of providing an overview of this work stream. I did receive some questions for Homes England. I think a lot of these have already been covered previously by Andrew. One that I wasn't sure if it was covered was in relation to the lighting on Rampton Drift. So lighting is being installed as part of the current landscape works, and it is expected that this lighting will be operational by the 26th of October to coincide with the clocks changing on the 25th. think the only other one I could see that wasn't answered was we received a query about, is there a plan to create more access roads to the M11 and the A14 for Northstowe in the future? So just to clarify that there are no plans for new junctions to the A14. The Highways England works underway is almost complete, providing upgraded junctions and a new local access road to enable choices for travel. We, Homes England, have also submitted an outline application for the remainder of the Northstowe development, which includes proposals for the Southern Access Road East. And as Andrew has said, these applications are currently being determined by South Cambs following a period of extended consultation on them. So I think that was everything picked up, unless anything further.
Emily, I think there was one earlier about Southern Access Road West and also the bridge that will be going over from Wilson's Road. Do you have an update on dates for that at all?
I don't have those to hand, but I can certainly follow up and get back to those interested.
I mean, obviously the Southern Access Road West would not be open, it does not need to be open until we have the first occupants for phase 2.
That's correct, yeah.
Andrew, do you want to come in? Do you have an update on, because obviously this is road connections. There's work that needs to be done from the county council on this. So I'm just bringing Andrew back in.
So the Southern Access Road West, the conditions of the planning application is or the outline plan application for phase 2, which it relies on. That basically says that the sub-phase A, which is the urban splash development, is the limit of the local roads. However, obviously it's already open for construction traffic in terms of that. So no construction traffic for phase 2 and phase 3 will come through Longstanton in any way. It won't touch Longstanton. In terms of Wilson's Road Bridge, I know there's been a lot of discussions recently. I can't remember when it's due to be completed, but I know it's under construction now. So, or when I was there a couple of weeks ago before I was back in local lockdown. I'll find that out. Well, between myself and Emily, we'll find that out. But the Southern Access Road West can't complete and can't open to the general public until such time as the county have done their local roads and connections to the A14.
Thank you, Andrew. That's really helpful. Emily, there's just some questions on the chat about the stewardship. So obviously, just to clarify, you are talking about what you look after in Homes England, which is phase 2 and 3, and whether or not there's scope to include phase 1.
So primarily our work has looked at phase 2 and 3, but obviously, as I said, there are, of course, benefits to taking that holistic approach. These aren't conversations we have begun at this time, as it's still an emerging piece of work, but we are mindful and looking into possibilities in the future.
Thank you. And this would involve the joining up to phase 3 and ensuring that holistic approach, I'm assuming. So you'll be working with obviously the management companies for phase 1 too.
Yeah, as I say, it's not anything that we have followed up with directly, but yeah, we're aware of all of the existing stewardship arrangements within the town, and we'll factor that in any solution going forward.
Okay, and will there be public consultation on the stewardship and involvement from residents and parish councils?
Yes, so we will be opening dialogue once we have a more kind of firm proposal and as this work emerges. But yeah, we intend to be communicating with the community existing and then those in the future as well, and looking closely on any outcomes that arise from the governance review, because that factors in various ways.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, Andrew, to bring you back, there's another comment from Dan, our parish chair. Appreciate what you're saying about vehicles not going into Longstanton, then they're able to use the Southern Access Road West, but actually we're still seeing a lot of lost vehicles going down Rampton Road and having to reverse. So we're having those issues, and whether or not we can pick that up with Homes England to try and enforce greater signage.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can let us know which contractors are doing it as well, that would be handy. We did have a problem on the other side of of Northstowe in Oakington the other day, and we found out who that was and what was going on. And the contractor has been identified. So if you can let us know or find out, but again we will talk to, well, Emily's here, but we will I'll have a chat with Dean and get that additional signage sorted.
That's great, thank you, Andrew. Stuart, are you still on? Would you mind coming on to just talk about kind of stewardship from a phase 1 point of view, just for some clarity for our residents, please?
Yeah, if you can hear me okay, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of stewardship, we've got basically we've got an agreement with the management company in place to maintain and manage all the public realm areas. So that includes the Western Park, the greenways, the formal park, the green, etc., etc. And then it will be Anglian Water will be maintaining the water park. So there is, as many residents will already be aware, the management company is Greenbelt, and there will be an annual management charge to that effect to look after those areas, and that's roughly around £96 a year.
Yeah, thank you for confirming that, Stuart. So that's going to be the charge for maintenance, and that's not additional council tax. Obviously, that's just for residents in Northstowe for phase 1.
That's correct, and we do have a management steering group set up, which includes the parish council, Anglian Water, Greenbelt, the management company, ourselves, and I can't think of anyone else. But I think that's it for now, and potentially the operators of the future sports pavilion as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And then obviously I think if you're reading the comments on Facebook, it's very clear that residents would like to see that kind of, if Greenbelt are working with Homes England as they work up their stewardship, so ensure that there's some continuity across the phases. That would be really great.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great, thank you. So sorry, just some comments. So not in addition to council tax. So obviously council tax pays for council services. The management services that Greenbelt are providing are part of Northstowe phase 1. So they're not in addition, as in they don't appear on your council tax bill. They are effectively another residence bill for the management of the spaces for Northstowe for phase 1. Stuart, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yes, that's correct, Sarah. The residents will get a bill directly invoiced from Greenbelt.
And how long will the management company be used? What's the agreement?
Effectively, we've got an agreement with the management company for 10 years.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Hilary, I'm just picking up the allotments question for you for Longstanton. We will email you separately about that because we want to just double check the details before giving you the information. Thank you. Thanks, Stuart, for coming on for that. I think that's all we have for questions on that for the time being, but